General Manager, ARS Rescue Rooter. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Tracy.
Yeah, maybe it got a break on Saturday, the heating system. But as Randy indicated, we got a lot more winter weather season to go, which means a lot more work. People are probably thinking, oh, every time it kicks on, I know I do. Oh, yes, good. Just stay on, keep my family warm, keep my family safe. But we don't consider when it's time to replace. A lot of people probably think, well, we're getting through the winter season, then I'm good as gold. Is now a good time to consider that?
It actually is. It actually is. The reason for that is as the winter starts to make way for the springtime, most companies are shifting from furnace season into air conditioning season.
Okay.
So with that weather, that polar weather that came through Indiana, like ARS, we were forced to really beef up our inventory to make sure we met the needs of Indiana. As a result of that, we have higher than normal inventory stocks of furnaces, if you will. So most companies, Tracy, will be willing to negotiate a little bit more on the furnaces to get rid of that extra.
Okay, so unlike a lot of car dealers, oh my gosh, our inventory year-round, they tend to have issues with their inventory. This is a real happening. You have to prepare yourself as well for the weather that we may or may not be having, or the replacements that need to be done? Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. And that's what happened to us when we had that weather. And you know, again, at the end of the day, based on the inventories most companies have, they're going to be willing to get rid of those, to not have to have those in their warehouses over the season. All that's really added up to some potential great savings for Indiana, for anyone that's looking to upgrade their furnace at a great price.
Okay, now usually when a furnace is at a certain age, a heating unit's at a certain age, then it becomes easy to do the math that it's time to replace because it's not as efficient, and the new models out there are really going to make a big cost savings over the life. But how do we know, is it maybe time to consider a new unit because of these deals, even if ours isn't quite ready to be, you know, put to pasture or out to a cemetery for furnaces?
That's a great question, and you know, there's a lot that goes into that decision, and first and foremost, I mean, I think that the best thing a homeowner can do is to have a licensed, certified specialist come out and go through their system with them. But even if you think it's not time, most people, when you look at the changes that have happened with furnaces and air conditioner, just in the last 5 years, and the efficiencies of these things and how much they cost to operate versus in the past, it could be just from a cost savings of an efficiency gain from a new furnace. It might make sense just to switch out for that reason alone.
And you brought us some numbers. You actually have done the number crunching for us. We're going to take a look here, and if we can put them up there. There we go, right there. Okay, what are we looking at here?
Well, Trace, what we have here, this is a furnace cost reduction table, and this comes to us from the Trane Corporation. And basically, a lot of people, they hear about furnaces, and they hear terms like AFUE up here. This stands for Annual Fuel Utilization Efficiency.
Okay.
And this is a chart we show most homeowners when we come in and we talk to them about upgrading their system. And really, this talks to them about what kind of savings they get. So, for example, if your current furnace is a 60% furnace, on this table, you'd come down here to the base, come all the way across, and if you upgraded to a 95% furnace, you'd save up to 33% on your energy bills.
Whoa,
by doing that.
I can do, you know, grade point averages are usually what I like to round up, but I can round that out. We're talking then like 3 years in order to sort of justify, and I mean, some furnaces that people are running now are probably old enough, they're not seeing any savings at all. It's costing them even more money, right?
Well, and as energy conscious as we are, I mean, even the energy companies and the things that they're doing, this is really, really high on the priority list of most homeowners out there. And when you think about the cost of a new furnace or an air conditioner or a complete system, when you look at these savings, it can pretty much justify the cost of changing out now with those savings that you'll be able to retain from that upgrade.
And the unit you brought in, this shows an 80. AFUE 80, so all we have to do is look at that 80 and then go to the chart, right?
That's right. So for this one, if you upgraded to a 95%, you would save 13% on your, up to 13% on your annual bill.
Okay, good. Okay. I'm glad you broke it down and made it simpler. And they're not just more efficient, they're smaller too, right? And my wife wants us to get a new furnace just because she thinks she's going to gain a closet in terms of square footage.
Yeah, they are. They're getting smaller. Typically, the inside units are getting smaller, the outdoor units are getting a little larger, but yeah, they're definitely getting smaller. And what we have here is, this is an 80% furnace. To your left there is a 90% furnace.
Okay.
Main difference here is the venting. This uses a metal pipe here.
Right.
Okay, and then over here is PVC. Big reason is that 80% furnace, a good way to look at that, probably the easiest way for a homeowner to look at that, if for every dollar that I spend on to heat my home with this furnace, 80 cents of that is going to heat the home, the other 20 cents is going out this flue.
Out the vent, okay.
With that 95% furnace, 95 cents is going to heat the home, and only 5 cents is going out of those vent pipes.
Okay.
The reason we're PVC there versus metal here is because there's less waste. It's not as hot. The gases and things that are escaping, so we can use that versus the metal pipe.
Still want to stay away from metal piping that's venting out, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Very hot.
And of course, this time of year, like every time of year, we're still supposed to be checking our filters, replacing them on a regular basis as well, right?
Absolutely.
So one thing that you can do as a homeowner that can make sure that you can extend the life of your furnace. We've got all the information for ARS Rescue Rooter on our website. We've got the link as well. Good to see you as always.
You as well,
Appreciate
Tracy.
that.
Thank you.
80, 90, money saved either way, Andy. He brought math, so I didn't have to do it.
90, please.
Yes.